title. Sunday, so I don't normally do a Sunday live or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, I was drawn to some energy and I want to speak on it particularly. And I think it's pretty profound. You see the title, Ezekiel in the Bible, and why I don't adhere to other people's perception. Ezekiel in the Bible, the story is dope. It's about a prophet, masterful, disciplined and divine. One of the greater prophets, if you would ask me, in between Isaiah and Joseph. And as far as the explanation of what they did, great. But also in this story, it particularly talks about one particular passage, and this is the only time they speak about this passage, is Ezekiel's wife. And she was good enough to be placed on a pedestal when she passed away, but unfortunately, in someone's perception, she wasn't good enough to be told aside Ezekiel and his story. And for the most part, people would say there's no story, there's nothing to say, and all this other stuff, because it's just that particular part, because it spoke on how Ezekiel cherished his wife, and that when she passed on, how important that was. And divine asks Ezekiel not to weep for the passing of his wife, right? Or God, which I'll say God, not the divine, the Almighty, because I know you're not talking about the supreme creator. They're talking about their version of what they believe God to be. So either way, in that perception of that story that's given, right, it's said that way. That's how it's given. Now, the problem with that I have is there are laws that are absolute that divine lives by, or divine gives for everybody to live by. And that Ezekiel being an upstanding, disciplined individual in the light of divine, in his retrospect, that would have to coincide with everything that he has going on in his life too, because he would have to come through those basics to get to the place where he is, right? So it's not speaking on not having mistakes or whatever like that. It's speaking on the comprehension that he would carry based off the laws of divinity. And one of those would be to be evenly yoked, right? To be evenly yoked with the woman, somebody that you're going to, marry or whatever, or consummate with, So if that's the case, and also in a reverence of her passing, that it's seen fit to speak about her passing and her cherishment from Ezekiel with respects to his representation of divine, that would also entail that because he married her, that she was evenly yoked with him. And she also had a role to play in his growth because he cherished her. How can you cherish someone who doesn't have a significant role in your life? Automatically, with the understanding of his comprehension to discipline, I would see that if she was evenly yoked, she would have to be disciplined as well, and also have served a purpose in his growth because she was cherished by him. So that's not even spoken in your religion. You guys don't even give that no room to breathe at all. But in the same breath, everybody's fighting for a placement as far as being respected as an individual. Well, here you are. Here's a placement in the Bible where someone chose to omit a level of truth based off the laws of divinity, and you could see where it would be a large particular part to add to a section, but because the discipline was used as a factor of value, it was used as a divide and conquer situation. Like almost like dividing and uplifting something else at the same time. And I don't think divine would play those particular type of games, but unfortunately you didn't even think about it to see it. So this is one of the reasons why I don't adhere to religion, because they do stuff like that. And it's an absolute comprehension unbeknownst to everybody else. It's an obliviousness. It's like you read right past that and don't even question why. So with that being said, I ain't gonna hold you. I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any comments or questions, you would like to leave it in the comment section, that's what's up. I'll check it out. This video shouldn't take that long to upload. It's only 4 or 5 minutes. So, share this with anybody, if you think y'all would like to digress to that understanding. But I know it's profound because nobody thinks that way. So either way, holla at me. NAGA the Wise.